I think we can. Okay. Right. So SV definitely first. Yes. GN second. Yeppa with the number 3. Actually, I was third. Yeppa. Yeah. 4. How are we all today? How are we? Apologies. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about Star Wars games. I'm going to play a bit of Battlefront 2 as well. But I kind of just wanted to sit and talk about Star Wars games mostly, to be honest, because, yeah. I mean, tomorrow's video is going to be, like, a bit more of a discussion on it from me, but I want to see more what you guys think, and, yeah. Just what are you hoping for? You know, Matt Martin last week said that he's never been more excited for Star Wars games. Well, not quite. He said he hasn't been this excited for Star Wars games in a long time. Can I turn my mic volume up? Yeah. I can. I'll do that. Yeah, Matt Martin said that he hasn't been this excited for Star Wars games in a long time. So, and the fact that we don't know anything from EA yet either. The only thing we know is that Respawn are making a game, but even that game hasn't even been officially unveiled yet. I mean, what if it's just a Fallen Order update? You know, it won't, but yeah. I mean, I've turned it up now. Do you need me to do it again, or what is the probably no. I can turn it up again a bit more. Oh wait, hang on. No, I needed to turn it the other way. This is as high as I can go. I don't know if this is okay or not. Sorry, yeah, I turned it the wrong way around just now. When you asked for me to turn it up, I turned it down, not up. So, yeah. How's this? Let me know. You good? Alright, sweet. That's better. Good news. Alright, so I'll say that again just in case. So, Matt Martin from the Lucasfilm Story Group said that he hasn't been this excited for Star Wars games in a long time, which to me is like, you know, that's pretty awesome to know. We don't know anything from EA at all. Like, Squadrons is like, we know Respawn are working on something, but what is that? But I mean, we know it's a Jedi game. You know, is it going to be a sequel or not? We don't know if that's a direct sequel, if it's going to maybe be a prequel or something completely different away from Cal. Like, I feel like it will be a sequel, but we don't have anything for that. We have no knowledge of that yet, and we don't know anything from anywhere else about Star Wars games. So, you know, with what Matt said, you know, clearly that shows that there is a lot more to come, but it's just a case of when. Like, I think we won't. I honestly don't think we'll hear anything until EA Play, but yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. What are you hoping to see from EA with Star Wars games? I think I need to do something on this as well. There was no EA Play this year, right? No, there was. That's where Squadrons got its gameplay trailer. It wasn't in person. Yeah, it was. So EA Play now is what like Origin like Access and EA Access was. That's now called EA Play. So what we knew as EA Play before is now called EA Play Live. So that was like an EA Play was a live stream, and then yeah, so that was an EA Play live stream, and then I mean I can't imagine EA Play will be in person in 2021 either. I think that will probably be a stream as well, and then hopefully in 2022 it's in person, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see. By the way, as well, I'm just coming off the end of a cold. So yesterday's video, you probably might have been able to tell. You probably can tell now because I'm probably a bit nasally. But yeah, I had a bit of a cold, and yeah, I'm just coming out of it. So apologies for that. Battlefront 3 is what Yeppa wants the most. Yeah, it's fair. I feel like Battlefront 3 is what I want the most as well, but at the same time I just want lots of like smaller games as well. I don't know. GM wants an open world Styles game, as do I, and he also wants a Styles like Skywalker Saga but with Battlefront 2 graphics, if that makes sense. I think I remember you talking about this. So basically, like Lego Styles, the Skywalker Saga, but like photoreal in a way. Basically, just you get to play the films, is what I'm assuming you mean. Probably going to jump on the bandwagon and just say an open world GTA-like game. That's the main thing I want as well. I really want. I've made a file of. I made a Google Doc of the games that I really want. So I'll go through those now. I mean, there's going to be more than this, to be honest, but off the top of my head, this is what I thought of earlier. Babin, hello there, hope you're doing well. Yep, also says Open World Bounty Hunter Game Plus. That would be, honestly, like, that would be awesome. Those two things are my favourite. Bear with me. Right, so as I said, there are two big. So I mean, there are only two like big, like massive scale games that I really care about right now, and that's Battlefront 3 and like a big MMORPG kind of GTA style bounty hunter game, and then the smaller games I want a focused like pod racer game, which I'm going to go into detail on that in a video later on. I'll probably do a video on each game that I want to see as well. But yeah, I love a pod racing game, and then I want a Star Wars Squadron sequel set in the Resistance era, like between the First Order. I made a note here that like you could have a prologue at the Battle of Jakku, and then you could have it end at the Battle of Exegol, for example, which would be really cool. I also really want a Star Wars Squadrons prequel set in the Clone Wars where it ends at Order 66, so you actually get to do Order 66 against a Jedi or something like that, which I think would be really, really cool. I also then want a Jedi Fallen Order 2 and 3 that follow on from Cal's story, which would be really cool. That's what I really want to see. I'd love to see an actual trilogy of those games, which would be really nice. And then I also really want to see like anthology games of the Jedi series. So basically like one shot, well, kind of like Rogue One and Solo, you know, they're one shot stories on certain characters, really. So I'd love to see a game, you know, a Star Wars Jedi game on Seer, for example. So that could basically end when Order 66 happens or something. Actually, no, that maybe like Order 66 could happen like halfway through the game. So the first part of the game, you're actually fighting with your clones against like the Separatists and stuff like that. Then Order 66 happens, and you have to like defend the younglings, and then do all that other stuff, which I think would be sick. And then I'd also love to see a game on Jared Tapal, which would end at Order 66. And then I also really want to see a tactical shooter. Something like Valorant, for example, is obviously a tactical shooter, or Rainbow Six Siege, as you'll probably more know. Though I really want to see a game like that for Star Wars. Right, what did Babin say? We could have an Assassin's Creed style game about a Jedi after Order 66. The only thing about another like game like as a Jedi after Order 66 is I feel like I feel like that's, it's not necessarily going to, it could be completely different to Fallen Order, and I'm sure it would be, but is how many stories do you want to tell about a Jedi trying to survive after Order 66? Because we already have that with Fallen Order anyway. I'd rather see them focus the game more on a different part of the universe rather than more Jedi surviving after Order 66. But I don't know, it could be interesting. I mean, I've never really played Assassin's Creed too much, but I think it could definitely be interesting. Pod race game by that company that made those racing games, Codemasters. Yes, EA. The acquisition of Codemasters for EA is expected to be complete in like early quarter 2021. So I really hope we get a pod racing game. I mean, they've made Formula 1, Grid, Dirt. One of the companies that is under Codemasters is called Slightly Mad Studios, and they made Project Cars. So Codemasters have like some of the best racing games in the industry. So it would be amazing. Like, it would be amazing to see. It'd be amazing to see that, honestly. Pod racing game would be cool, but I don't play racing games much, so I probably wouldn't play it. That's understandable. That's totally fair. I think what I'd love to see with I think a pod racing game could take a lot of inspiration from Squadrons, honestly. In terms of customization, well, in terms of the customization, sure, like loads of different paint jobs you could have, loads of different like helmets and alien species as the pilot you are, but also just have a wide variety of pods that you can use and have components for it, so that you can like upgrade your engine or basically like these attachments that can help modify your pod racer, whether it's like your turn rate. Maybe you're a bit quicker in the straights, but you can't turn as easily, or vice versa. You can turn a bit easier, but you're a little bit slower. So you do get that you can either have that corner speed or straight line speed with that. There's a lot that you could really do with that, I think, and I'd love to see something like that go ahead. Do you think we'll get any big Star Wars gaming news next year? I think so. Because otherwise we're going to have to wait another year, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think what is ultimately going to happen is we're not going to hear anything until EA Play. Like, maybe we'll get some small Squadrons, like cosmetic updates. I don't think we're going to get anything else too big with regards to Squadrons. So I think we'll get some smaller, cosmetic updates like we have been doing anyway. And then I think, at EA Play, I'm hoping for at least 2 announcements. What I'm hoping for, honestly, is like Respawn to say they're making a second Jedi Fallen Order game, but call it something else, obviously, like Star Wars Jedi something. And then, so do that. But then I also hope that we get another announcement of from somewhere else. I mean, there's every chance we could get a Star Wars game next year. I mean, Squadrons, I know a lot of things get leaked, but Squadrons didn't get essentially leaked until Project Maverick way back in early February this year, I think it was. But even then, that was incredibly vague, and we didn't know that it was coming this year. And then all of a sudden, on a Friday from the Xbox store, it was like Star Wars Squadrons new game coming this year, sort of thing. And it was like, whoa! And that was like the week before EA Play. So yeah, I mean, I think there's every chance we could get another Star Wars game next year, because Squadrons was in development for 3 years, and they were able to hide it until pretty much a couple months until. Well, I mean, officially. It got leaked properly the first time in, like a couple days before reveal anyway. So even that, that's not too bad really. So, I think it's definitely possible we could get another Star Wars game next year. I'm not expecting it, but I think we can get some announcements at EA Play in 2021. Star Wars tactical shooter would be cool. It would. It really would. I'd love to see like a clone commando versus commando droids sort of game. I think that would be awesome. Like Republic versus the Separatists, a bit more focused. I mean, you could have all three eras. You could have Imperial commandos and Rebel commandos. Same with First Order and Resistance troopers. You know, I think that would be amazing, honestly. Is Battlefront 3 a possibility? Food does film. Good to see you. I think a Battlefront 3 is absolutely possible, but I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I think it would probably be about I think a Battlefront 3 is at least 3 to 4 years away, to be honest. Whether that's release or whether that's just being announced, I think it's still a good few years to go. Aside from games, I would love a live-action series, animated maybe, about Vader and his Jedi hunting years. The only thing I will say is that we've already got so many comics about that anyway. Like, there's a whole Darth Vader comic series focused on like the Inquisitors, like Vader, the Inquisitors, and them hunting down Jedi. So I don't know. I mean, like, it would be really cool, but the fact that we already have that kind of thing anyway, it's just not that necessary. It would be really cool though. Chimichangas and Blue Leader, good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. This is remaster some games. The only thing about remastering some games is that some of these games before they didn't own, like it wasn't like EA didn't make Republic Commando, so I feel like EA didn't make Republic Commando, so I don't see any reason why they would do that. The only games I would see EA remaking from the old times is KOTOR, but even still, I just don't think that's going to happen, because I think maybe like further down the line, maybe remake KOTOR, but for now, just focus on new experiences. I want a game like Jedi Fallen Order, but you start as a Jedi in the prologue, but then become an Inquisitor. That would be... Yeppa. So, you know how I said that I want like anthology... Yeah, about how I'd love like a Jedi Fallen Order anthology film games, and I talked about, maybe playing as Seer and Jarrow. Well, another idea I had, I didn't write it down on here, but I spoke to my brother about it earlier, but I actually said a game on the Ninth Sister would be really cool, because she was a Jedi, and then she went into that, she basically got tortured by the Empire, as we saw with Seer in Fallen Order. So I'd love it where you start off as the Ninth Sister as a Jedi, and then there's some cutscenes, time jump, and then you're the Ninth Sister as an Inquisitor, and actually in that game you actually go and fight Cal on Kashyyyk, but then after you get defeated, that is when the main chunk of the game starts, and it basically tells us the Ninth Sister story beyond that, which, I mean, it could be there might not even be anything worth exploring, but it also could be really interesting. Like, maybe she gets defeated and then reassigned to something else, I think it's definitely possible that it could happen. Would love a Republic Commando remaster. I think I touched on that already. I did. High Republic game would probably be interesting. I think that absolutely would, yeah. I mean, bear with me, guys. So, yeah, I think a High Republic game could definitely be possible. It was leaked early last year, I think, that the High Republic era would start off with a game. I don't know why it was leaked that, but because we always knew it was a publishing thing, like with books and comics. But last year there was that rumor of a High Republic era game. So I think it's definitely possible that we could see, maybe next year we actually see a High Republic game from somewhere. Like, we get the first book on January 6th, I think, or it's mid-Jan. Yeah, I think it's like January 6th. We get Light of the Jedi, which is the first High Republic novel to come out, and then over the next like month or two, you get we get like another novel, which I think is a young reader's novel, and then there's also a comic series starting as well, and then in June there's another novel or two coming out. So yeah, that's gonna be that. So I think like we could very well see a game maybe next year based on the High Republic, because that's where they're starting to go into a lot more now. So it's possible. I don't know. I think it's definitely possible. I can't remember exactly when that was leaked, but that was, I think, earlier this year. Zorkin, the beautiful human. Hello there. Merry Christmas to you as well. Merry Christmas to everyone as well. We're nearly there. It's the 22nd at the moment. It is. Nearly the 23rd here in the UK. We're close. I think I'll probably do another stream on Thursday. But yeah, that'll be like, yeah, around Thursday this time, right before Christmas. You know, look at that. Who's the handsome man in the top left corner? I see a wall. Stop it. Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005 remake, let's go, woohoo. That would be, like, I think that would be pretty sick, to be fair, but again, with it being EA licensed, that wouldn't happen. And again, I don't think we need any I honestly don't really feel like we need any Star Wars remakes yet. I think maybe in, like, you know, right now, and especially over the next 5 to 10 years maybe, I think that should really be a focus on new Star Wars games. And because we haven't, like, before EA had the license, we didn't have any Star Wars games for quite a while. Like, it was fairly quiet. And then obviously EA has the license now and has done for 7 or so years, and we've only really got 4 proper games, really, plus Galaxy of Heroes. Wait, yeah, 4. Battlefront 1, 2, 4 Nora Squadrons. Cool. Yeah, we've got 4 games so far, and I think we really need to see a bigger focus on more games coming out, because I feel like if they went and released only 4 games and then were like, oh hey, here's a remaster of an old game, it'd be like, but I don't know, to me that just wouldn't really make much sense. I just think everyone, and again, they didn't have these older Star Wars games, so remaking them would be really weird, I think. I would love something Clone Trooper focused. See battles through the eyes of either a regular trooper or some special forces trooper like a clone commando. See the war from Geonos until Order 66. That would also be really cool. I think with a lot of games that are like first person, I feel like most of the time the more interesting story comes from special operations, like people. I mean, yeah, it tends to come from more like special ops. That's where a lot of the more interesting stuff happens. You know, it could be awesome to play. I'd love to play as like a normal clone in like some story, but I kind of feel like it doesn't necessarily give them as much purpose, really. So I feel like, yeah, special forces like Clone Commando or something like that would be really cool. Basically, just a new Republic Commando. I'd love to see something like that, maybe. Star Wars game centered around all Jedi who fell to the dark side would be interesting. It could be Star Wars Broken Vow. That sounds interesting. The only thing I will say, I mean, there will be like a fair few. I mean, you say all the Jedi, you couldn't really do all of the Jedi because there is there's a fairly considerable amount, really. Not all of them I can think off the top of my head. So I feel like if they wanted to do something like that, then you wouldn't really be able to get much. You know, you'd either have not much time with each character in doing that, and if so, like, what's the story there? Like, yeah, okay, they've become a dark side user, but is there anything is there any story worth telling? You know, is the gameplay worth, you know, is there any gameplay worth talking, you know, playing through and stuff like that as well? It's, I don't know. It's an interesting concept, but there's a lot of, yeah, it's a really interesting concept, but not, yeah, it could be developed a lot, I think, but it'd be a really tough one to go off, I think. Where did I get to? I assumed you wouldn't be streaming again before Christmas, so I said Merry Christmas. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, maybe you can't make it on Thursday anyway, so, you know, maybe you were right to say that. Who knows? Who knows? I have a groundbreaking, revolutionary, radical pitch for a Star Wars game. A Battlefront game. That's good. Whoa. I mean, it's obviously subject to opinion, so... I mean, a Battlefront game for you that's good could be awful for some other people, you know? Ace Gamer and God Charlie, good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. I think it'll be a long time before we see remasters, yeah. I agree. Hey, I have the 6-month badge. Dab. Remasters and remakes come when they run out of original and creative content for a franchise, e.g. Resident Evil and Prince of Persia. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, maybe, but... SV says he thinks we need some sequel trilogy content. I agree, to be honest. It's an interesting one with EA Star Wars games currently, because it's all been focused with the Galactic Civil War like period, the Imperial side of things. Battlefront 2015 didn't have a campaign or any... Battlefront, that didn't have a campaign, but the whole game was focused on the Galactic Civil War. Battlefront 2 campaign was, like, literally started towards the end of 6. Like, not quite at the end, but, like, basically at the end. Well, I mean, in the first mission, the Death Star blows up, right? So... spoilers. And then that like goes on until Battle of Jakku, so it's still that Imperial period. And then we had Fallen Order, which was the, you know, we didn't really see, okay, we did see some rebellion, actually. We saw Swords Partisans, but that was, you know, that was very much the Empire, obviously. And then we had Squadrons, which was the fall of the Empire and the rise of the New Republic. Still that Imperial period. It would be really nice if we saw... I mean, obviously with Battlefront 2, we had Clone Wars and sequel trilogy content. But, you know, it'd be really nice if we actually saw some stories within the sequel trilogy and, you know, the actual Clone Wars side of things as well. And, again, even more High Republic content as well would be really sick. Sammy boy. Sorry. It always makes me laugh when I see that. Oh god. Alright, who's your favourite character / main character in Battlefront 2? Favourite hero is to use is Luke, and favourite villain is Darth Maul. Imagine all the content a new Battlefront game could have with all the new shows and movies coming. Dude, there was literally a tweet about... Someone tweeted that yesterday and tagged Dennis, and... yeah, they tagged Dennis, Ben, and CJ, I think it was. And, yeah, wait. Yeah, it, like, so, they tweeted about that, and, Dennis actually retweeted that and said, I know, and I was just like... like to me, it was just like, yeah. But that's the thing, it's so true. Like in, I'm gonna do a video on this, but basically like a Mandalorian season 2, like if basically a Mandalorian season 2 concept update. So, you know, Mando as a hero, Moff Gideon as a villain. I don't know if I should continue. Has everyone here seen The Mandalorian season 2? Because if you haven't, then I probably won't talk about it. I think that the remake of the original Republic Commando story could definitely work in the canon since that story is Legends. I mean, I wouldn't remake the Republic Commando story, but it could, it very well could, it could very much be like an adaptation of that. So, yeah. Red Sun, good to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so Babin hasn't yet. Sammy Boy hasn't yet, but he doesn't mind. Zorkin hasn't seen it. I don't know if Zorkin's actually interested in it though, but a few people haven't actually seen it yet, so I won't go further. Okay, what I will say, this isn't spoilers, but yeah, Moff Gideon and Mando as heroes, and then appearances for a certain few people, I'd say. I would only watch The Mandalorian if I had trouble sleeping, and I don't often have trouble sleeping. Well, there we go. SV's just retracted something and I can't see it. No, he'll probably redo it. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, a game like a Republic Commando game that starts off at Geonosis and then goes on through the Clone Wars, I think would be amazing. I think that would be an awesome game. Sequels by themselves were god-awful. It's a harsher take than turning water to wine, going off that. Okay. I do still think we should see sequel content though. There is a lot of story, there is more stories we could see with that, especially with that's why I'd love to see a Squadrons game that's set in the prequel era, like a Vanguard Squadron but as the Resistance. I think could really work well. Start off with the prologue in Jakku, and maybe Gunny dies or something, like the main Vanguard squad leader, and then maybe you're the character essentially from the first game becomes the squad leader for the second game. So it's a prologue from that starts in Jakku, and then the main game actually takes place during the First Order Resistance conflict, which then ends at the Battle of Exegol. I think that would be really cool. My opinion, it was a big L that the LE-80 and U-Wing were on rails instead of having a pilot and gunner seat, also a gunner seat for the tanks. I really hope we do actually see them free to move around and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. You might as well just unmod all of your moderators, Mark. Your chat is always remarkably respectful for some reason. That's I mean, it's not a good point. I'm not going to unmod people just for the sake of that, but that is a good point. So many stream chats that I've been into are really weird and genuinely need mods, but then my stream chat is always super chill and most of the time don't need anything. I had a guy last week who was a bit of a pain, but yeah. Mega, good to see. Vader is just great. Everything about him. He's awesome, isn't he? He's very cool. Been trying to come up with a new name for ages, but can't think of anything good. It'll come to you. It'll come to you. Don't worry too much. Wouldn't particularly have Mando as a hero, but there is an amazing reinforcement in the show. There is an amazing there is an amazing reinforcement in the show as well. I forgot about that. I would love to see that. That would be good. Oh man. I've been meaning to at least watch the first season, just haven't got around to it yet. No, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. I think a co-op style open world game would be good. Big Sammy G, good to see you. I mean, open world game, yeah, definitely. Co-op style, that's interesting actually. That's different. That is different. I think that would be really. I think that would be really interesting actually. Isn't the Avengers game somewhat co-op open worldy? I could be completely wrong, but I feel like I remember hearing something about that. Is it true that there's a live action Ahsoka in it? Because that's so dumb. It's true. I'll try not to go into spoilers for many things, but yeah, Ahsoka is in it. It's basically setting up the Ahsoka show. So for those, I mean, Zorkin, you may well have seen this already, but for those who haven't seen, we're getting 10 more shows and 2 new films have been announced as well, basically. So the 10 new shows coming to Disney Plus over the next few years is Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic. That's tying into The Mandalorian. It's set during that timeline. Star Wars Ahsoka is taking place during the Mandalorian timeline. Yep, there is an Ahsoka show Zorkin. We've got Andor, which is the Cassian show that was announced ages ago. That's going to be set like before Rogue One. We've got Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is set 10 years after Episode 3, and therefore 9 years before Episode 4. We've got a Lando show coming, which is... I don't actually know when that's set. But yeah, we're getting a Lando show. We're getting a show called The Acolyte, which is set during the late stages of the High Republic, which is the show I'm actually most looking forward to, whoever asked that. Gonchalo, I'm looking forward to The Acolyte the most. We're also getting The Bad Batch, which is a Clone Wars animation style, releasing next year, which should be pretty awesome. Star Wars Visions is 10 episodes of Star Wars anime, basically. Hopefully they're original stories, but yeah, that should be interesting. There's Star Wars A Droid Story as well, which I'm pretty sure is a TV show. I don't know if that's live action or just animated, but that's between R2 and 3PO. And then Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Star Wars Rogue Squadron is a film from Patty Jenkins coming in 2023. And then Taika Waititi's film was also further announced as well. There was nothing. There was nothing about that said, apart from that he's working on it. Avengers game is 4-player co-op. Yeah, campaign is single player though. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, a co-op style game of sorts would be really cool. All I got to say is we need open world Star Wars games sometimes very soon. I agree. I mean, Fallen Order's like open world, but it's really linear open world, so it's not like, I don't know. I want like a fully fleshed open world experience where there are like loads of side quests and like market vendors and people and stuff like that. I don't know, and a lot more, but that would be cool. They should honestly make the OG Republic Commando canon. There's not really anything in it from my understanding that breaks the current canon, and they cameo in Clone Wars, so why not? I mean, yeah, they probably could, but I don't know. I mean, either that or, well, to be honest, I don't like they won't do that just because I think they'll be doing so. You know, they don't want to go back on what they basically did. So I think if we do see Republic Commando stuff, then I think it will be just being like a new game, which would be really cool. If my Vader fanboying gets too much, I'm sorry. I'm such a Vader fanboy. Some of my friends call me Kylo. Wow. To be fair, Vader is awesome. Like, you can't not love Vader. I mean, you can, but Vader's epic. I would think an open world Star Wars game would be a wise move for EA if they want to take it really seriously. They could do so much stuff on it, but unlike Rockstar and GTA 5, EA could not add a lot. But either way, they can do a lot of stuff to an open world game and make a lot of money. Wait, what do you mean, like, unlike Rockstar and GTA 5, EA couldn't add a lot? What do you mean by that? Because, I mean, there's plenty of stuff they'd be able... Like, they could have loads. I mean, if EA did lose the license eventually, but still had that game being serviced, then there's no reason why they would have to stop servicing that game. I think it's a game they'd still service for a long time. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see a GTA-style game, because you could literally have, like, pod racing in there, or like racing with like starfighters as well, bounty hunters. A lot of stuff to this game depending on its era and all that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, depending on the era, that's a really good point. I feel like it would probably have to be Imperial, to be honest. Like, when the Empire has control, I think that's when it'll probably have to be. I don't know. I mean, Red Dead, GTA, it doesn't matter. Like, either one of them. There's going to be similarities. Rumours suggest that the Lando show will explore both young and old versions of Lando. Yeah, I actually remember hearing about that. So the Lando show was basically talking about, or like the rumor that was several months ago, basically said that it would explore both, which I think would be really interesting. I think if we got to see, because I mean, in the Rise of Skywalker, like, Lando basically says to Jana, like, or asks where she's from, and she says she doesn't know, and then Lando basically says, "Oh, I'll help you out," basically says, "Oh, I'll help you find where you're from," sort of thing. I'm pretty sure Jana's Lando's daughter, to be honest. But I think it would be really cool if we actually got to see Billy D come back as Lando and like, you know, have Jana in the show as well, and they go through that, and then also have a younger Lando as well, where maybe Lando is almost like the Lando Chronicles. Like, he goes through, like, you know, maybe Billy D's like telling his stories, and that's when Donald Glover comes back and portrays a younger Lando or something. I don't know. I think that would be really cool. I think that could work. Hoping Ryan Johnson still has a trilogy. I'm hoping so as well, but I don't think that's something we'll see for a while. I think Ryan will, like, Ryan's confirmed several times over the last few years that he does still have his trilogy. So yeah, I imagine it'll be fine. Bear with me. Cool. In a potential new Battlefront game, I would love to see the smaller game modes have more unique maps like the Tantive 4, Imperial Cruiser, base version of Mopkins Cruiser and stuff like that. Dude, so would I. I've actually literally 2 weeks ago done a video talking about that. It felt... I probably didn't explain it the best in that, but yeah, I like Battlefront 2015. Like, they did a really good job with that, in the sense that large scale mode had large maps, whereas the smaller scale modes had smaller maps, and that's really what I want to be seeing from those modes. So yeah, hopefully Battlefront 3 does the same. I mean, I don't mind having, you know, smaller maps of the same location sometimes, but... Or even if it were, like, Battlefront 2 has Kashiro Beach twice. There's a small version and the small version, but the small version is up in the treetop, so it's a different map, just in the same place. If we had stuff like that, again, wouldn't really mind that, but yeah, we'll see. I'm more excited for Bad Batch than any other show at the moment. It's essentially the Dark Times comics reinterpreted in a show form. Clones in their Phase 2 armor in the Empire, hunting rebels and Jedi. Dude, Bad Batch is going to be absolutely insane. The Bad Batch show, I can't wait for that, honestly. The fact that it's basically, yeah, I mean, the fact that it is pretty much clones, but as the Empire, like, yeah, that's going to be sick. Cassian Andor is a character that I would legitimately be interested in seeing more of. I really don't see the point of an Obi-Wan show or an Ahsoka show. I mean, I agree with that a lot, to be honest. Like, a Cassian, yeah, I really want to see more Cassian, and I'm really looking forward to the show. To be honest, yeah, I don't see much point in an Obi-Wan show. I never have. I'm really excited to see it, and Hayden Christensen's coming back as Vader, so I'm, like, really excited for that. So, you know, I mean, I'm excited for the Ahsoka show, and I'm excited for the Obi-Wan show. It's just, for the Obi-Wan show, I just don't really see much point in that. The Ahsoka show is more, I think, going to be linking to how Rebels ended, though, I think, maybe. So I'm excited for that as well, for that reason, if that is the case, but we'll see. Gotta be honest, I always think Battlefront is the IP with the most potential. Just with the Skywalker Saga movies and TV shows, there's infinite possibilities. Oh, like Battlefront is the ultimate Star Wars game. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. It's the biggest Star Wars, like, gaming franchise that there is and ever will be, I think. Yeah, Battlefront 3 has the potential to be the ultimate game, where it has prequels, sequels, original trilogy, and hopefully the High Republic's been a bit more developed, and we actually have High Republic era as well. There really is a lot of potential for a Battlefront 3. Like this game here, like, I'll probably play some games soon. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know. Like, even this game as well, we had all three trilogies so far. We had a bunch of heroes, bunch of maps, weapons, and everything from those eras. So, like, it was a really great experience to have, and a Battlefront 3 could just go so much more into that. And again, especially with all these new shows coming, like, it would be amazing. Zorkin, take care, have a good one. Appreciate you stopping in. Spikies and TD, hello there. Mandalorian Martin, good to see you. Renvar for Battlefront 3, hell yeah. Renvar's an awesome map. Battlefront 2015's map design goated, to be honest. It's really good, and I really wanted to have seen more of the maps coming back to Battlefront 2. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to really seen more like maps like remastered as such from that game into this one. I'd love to see, like, also in a video I actually spoke about remastered maps in a Battlefront 3. I'd like, especially places like Theed on this game. I want to see, and the more like other iconic named places, I'd love to see remastered into Battlefront 3, basically, because there's no point in them remaking Koshiro Beach because they've already got it in this game. So I mean, they're going to have to do a lot of work on it for it to work in Battlefront 3 and everything, but why spend so much time remaking it when you've already got the basis for it right here? Same with Theed, Koshiro Beach, anything else that's on here that I can't think of. Like Outpost Delta, Outpost Beta, they're from the Twilight Company book, so I'd really like to see those make their way into Battlefront 3 as well. Andor has concept art of Venator Star Destroyers being either built or taken apart, so I wonder what that's about. That would be really interesting. Yeah, like the Andor, I'm honestly, like Acolyte, Andor, and Bad Batch, I think are the shows I'm looking forward to the most right now. When should we expect another Star Wars game being playing Battlefront 2 and Cyberpunk? Nice. Hopefully Cyberpunk isn't too buggy for you. I know it's been a bit of a mess. When should we expect another Star Wars game? Honestly, I'm not well, we've got Lego Star Wars next year. I'm not personally expecting another Star Wars game from EA until 2022, but there could very well be another one next year. Oh, God. I should really get a tissue. I feel like everything in the Mandoverse will tie together for one cool story. Well, it will, that's the thing. We've also got the Boba Fett show as well. The Book of Boba Fett is the name. Well, yeah, so SV, the like Rangers of the New Republic show, it literally says in the description for it that it's like it takes place during the Mandalorian and like will tie into one big climactic finish or something like that. So I think Ahsoka, I mean maybe Ahsoka might not, but I think Ahsoka, the Book of Boba Fett, Rangers of the New Republic, and Mando will all tie into one big finale, I think. Either that or it'll just be Mando and Rangers, but yeah, it should be really interesting. They should remake the OT with modern day effects stuff. I don't really see the point in that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already done that, to be fair, but I don't know, I don't really see the point. There's always like these 4K versions coming out, so yeah. Hopefully they do add Ahsoka Invention in Battlefront 3 if it happens. I think if Battlefront 3 happens, Ahsoka and Ventress should just be there at launch. They were the two most requested heroes for the entire game, so I think it should just happen at launch. Have you heard of Star Wars Galaxies? I have, yes. I know it's actually a thing as well. Like, it got shut down years ago, but I know like someone remade it basically. And you can pretty much just be or whatever you want to be, I think. I think Battlefront 3 will be what everybody expected Battlefront from 2015, and what everybody expected from Battlefront 2 from 2017 to be truly the ultimate and best Star Wars game. I mean, it might not necessarily be what everyone expected from them, but yeah, I mean, I think Battlefront 3 could genuinely be the ultimate Star Wars game, and I really just hope it's one of those games that EA sit on for, like, they release it and they just sit on it for years and just keep pumping out content every now and again. Like, they don't even, like, I'd rather them promise, like, 10 years of content but with only, if they didn't update for it like every 3 months or something, where they add like not necessarily new heroes and reinforcements every time, but instead of like smaller monthly updates, maybe just have an update every 2-3 months, adding all this new content, but just go on for years. Because we had Battlefront 2 for 2.5 years, right? So, and games like Rainbow Six has gone on for like 6 or 7 now as it is, and I don't think is going to be stopping anytime soon. So I really hope that EA can do that for a Battlefront 3 basically, and then you like that way you could genuinely include original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy, High Republic. Well, not necessarily just the trilogies, but those eras. So the Clone Wars and like stuff. Also, basically, episode 1, from pretty much episode 1 all the way until the end of episode 3, when it becomes the Empire. Like everything within that timeline, you could just add loads of stuff for that. So basically, the 3 films and Clone Wars. And then it would be really cool to have just the Imperial era, so after episode 3, leading all the way up until the Empire essentially become the First Order. Even just like stuff from Mando can go into the original trilogy side of things. And then obviously sequel trilogy, we have lots of stuff there. And then High Republic era, like that's starting in, like that's literally starting next month officially. And by the time a Battlefront 3 comes out, this is the thing, what they could do is just release with prequels, sequels, original trilogy, and then about a year or 2 down the line have this massive update that introduces the High Republic with, maybe 4 heroes and villains per side, new characters, new weapons and abilities and stuff like that. There's so much they could do for that, and yeah, it'd be amazing. I have seen the recreated Obi-Wan Vader fight. Yeah, that was really impressive. What that guy did was insane. Yeah, I want Battlefront 3 to have everything from the last 2 games, and when I mean everything, I mean everything. I don't want an excuse of, oh, we can add Kashyyyk or Tatooine because of it, etc. Well, no, they would have Kashyyyk or Tatooine. Like, I wouldn't want everything. Like, I wouldn't really care to see Research Station 9 come back, or it's a great map, but I just think that like you need to limit yourself really. You can't like you can't really have everything. Like I want to see like the planets come back. Like I really want Sullust. Sullust in Battlefront 2015 is still my favorite Battlefront map of all time. Like the Soros Tube Centraplex for me was amazing. But I want to see those planets come back, but not necessarily just the same maps. I want to see some of those maps remastered, but I think for the most part it should just be new maps as well. Theed and Kamino should be the exact same in a new game. Also Battlefront 2015, Jakku, Hoth, and Sullust. Again, yes, like some maps come back for sure, others not so much. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Soros Tube Centraplex, but I don't know. Outpost Beta and Delta, yeah, 100%. I'd love to see something like that. With Ahsoka kind of involved, I think it's going to deal with Thrawn, but I kind of doubt it as well. Yeah, so that's going back to the whole Mando stuff. So I think ultimately, I think Thrawn is going to be a big part of that, which should be really interesting. You are correct. Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, and Mando were all tie-ins together for a big epic finale. For example, CW, DC event, Crisis on Infinite Earth, and Netflix and Marvel Legends. Yeah. It didn't say it didn't necessarily say Ahsoka was a big tie-in, but it said Rangers was. But I imagine Ahsoka probably will be as well. Also, just take their time developing instead of rushing the games like they did with the other Battlefront games. Yeah, the issue with Battlefront 2 is it only had like a 2-year dev cycle, really, which wasn't enough. So, with what we got with Battlefront 2, I absolutely adored and I loved it. And the fact that with some of the updates they did, they were so big as well. So I think there's a lot of potential for a Battlefront 3. Like, if they just genuinely, because I think ultimately we're not going to see a Battlefront 3 released, like I said earlier, for about another 3 to 4 years. DICE are working on Battlefield 6 right now, whatever it's ultimately going to be called. And then, yeah, I think we'll probably see them start. I mean, they could very well start making Battlefront 3 as of late next year, sorry, or early 2022, and then we see it released in like 2025 or something. That's my assumption, honestly. I think when we see that, that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, just don't rush it, you know. Squadrons is a much smaller game than Battlefront was, and that took 3 years and is an absolutely incredible experience, you know. Not trying to rush you or anything, but when do you start playing? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm really happy to just keep on talking about Star Wars games and Star Wars shows right now, so I don't know. I mean, I'll probably end up playing soon, but I'm happy to keep on talking. R6 is definitely not going to end soon. Last year they said they're just getting started. Well, there you go. There you go. Rainbow Six, I mean, Overwatch is still getting heroes and stuff, right? I mean, I don't think they get them regularly, but you know, Overwatch, Rainbow Six, For Honor as well, like, they're games that just keep on going. For Honor's been out for, like, I remember when that came out, and that's now been around for like 5 years, almost, which is mental, to be honest. Like, that came out only a year and a half or so to 2 years after Rainbow Six, I think. So, yeah, I mean, I think it goes into year 5 in February, so yeah, that's, like, to me, like, that's pretty crazy, to be honest. Like, imagine what, like, Battlefront 2 would be like if it got 5 years of content. I mean, just imagine what it would be like now if they didn't end support back in April, you know? We're pretty much at the end of December, and content was cut at the end of April. Like, that's another 8 months of content we could have had. Where did I get to? Good part with the sequel trilogy is that they can actually create new stuff. I mean, that's another thing. Like, there's so much they can create for the sequel trilogy. Like, pretty much the only time we see like, First Order TIE bombers, they actually appear in Star Wars Resistance. I know in The Last Jedi we see, like, you know, during, like, the scene when DJ and Finn are talking about how they stole someone's ship from, like, a good guy, and then DJ's like, oh, not everyone's a good or bad guy, because they're selling T-75 X-Wings or T-70 X-Wings to... They're selling T-70 X-Wings to the Resistance, as well as TIE fighters and TIE bombers and stuff like that as well. And it was like, I'm pretty sure it's just a standard TIE fighter and a standard TIE bomber, but actual, like, proper First Order TIE bombers appear in Star Wars Resistance, and they look really cool. So, yeah, I mean, their wings are kind of inverted, so it's got that middle panel, but instead of caving in like that, it's more like that. So it's like straight sort of thing. So, yeah, it's really cool. Like, they could just do something, you know, for the fighters, interceptors, bombers, you've now got all of those. Add a Y-wing for the Resistance side of things as well, and then if you want, you could add, like, a TIE dagger and something else for the Rebels, and there you go, you know. That's more content for the sequel trilogy. There's, I don't know, I mean, I really want to see the sequel trilogy more in, like, TV show and films, because the only things we've really had is Resistance, which is 2 seasons, which doesn't add a massive amount of content. It does add a fair amount, but not not anything huge like Rebels or Clone Wars. And then we've got the actual sequel trilogy itself. I mean, there's comics that you can look into and books as well, but I'd really like to see more, like, TV or films for the actual sequel era. Would you like a Star Wars fighting game like Mortal Kombat? That would be pretty cool. I've never, like, really... I know there was a game on the Wii called... Like, the Nintendo Wii, there was a game called, like, Star Wars Lightsaber Duels or something like that. which me and my brother had. It got confiscated from us because we got really like aggressive, which was not great. But yeah, I mean, like a fighting game like Mortal Kombat but Star Wars could be really interesting. Like there is a story you can do with that. Like again, single player story, like canon or lore. There's loads of lore potential for that, and just an overall like pretty fun game as well. Two maps from Battlefront 2015 I would like to see in a Battlefront 3 would be Solus and Bespin. Yeah, I mean, Solus and Bespin, like, they're definitely two planets I want to see back, but I wouldn't necessarily want the same maps. I don't know. I would, like, ultimately, I really want to see more original maps, but there are definitely some things that I want to see come back, like, I mean, maybe Sora Super Centralplex could come back. I think that would be cool. Speakle, good to see you. Solus is freaking sweet, you're goddamn right. I think I'm quite glad EA don't update Battlefront anymore because it already takes up 120 gig of my 400 gig PlayStation. Yeah, that's the thing. Like games, like Battlefront when it came out, I think was about 90 gig, and now is about 120. So yeah, I mean, I'll just double check that myself. I'm pretty sure it's like specifically it's like 119. Okay, so Battlefront 2 is my biggest game at 115.9 gig on my PS5, so yeah, it's chunky. And ultimately, games are only going to get bigger. That's why these next-gen consoles have launched with, well, an 812 gig SSD on the PS5 and a 1 terabyte SSD on the Xbox. And I'm not worried about size, to be honest. Like the size of it, yeah, I mean, size of updates, sure. Like Warzone and Call of Duty updates. Actually, Cold War's not too bad, but Modern Warfare updates and like Warzone was absolutely ridiculous. Like so many like 20, 30 gig updates. Like some of them, it felt like every week. That's ridiculous, I think. Maybe it's something that is unavoidable in the future, but games are only going to get bigger. Yeah, games are going to get bigger. That's the thing. And obviously to cater for that, we'll get more storage. Like Xbox already announced like its own external SSD that you can plug in. You can just plug away into the Xbox Series X and Series S that you can then just go and use. Sony are yet to do that for the PS5, but they'll do that early 2021, I think. But it's a thing. So I think storage isn't really an issue for me, honestly. If we got a Battlefront 3 in 3-4 years time and that was like 150 to 200 gig at launch, I wouldn't really have an issue with that, to be honest, especially if the game was like absolutely insane. But yeah, I mean, another thing as well, like obviously as much as I'd love for Battlefront 2 to carry on going with content, I think it's a case of the sooner they stop updating, the sooner we get a Battlefront 3. That's how I'm thinking about it in my head. Almost like a coping mechanism. But there we go. It is one of those things, I think, that they stopped Battlefront 2, they're going to work on Battlefield 6. That'll release late next year, and then hopefully they'll go on to a Battlefront 3 as well. We'll see. Sequel trilogy has a lot of potential when it comes to dogfighting and space-related stuff. Lots of starfights they could create upon. Yeah, I mean, like that's exactly why I want to see a Star Wars Squadrons sequel that takes place in the sequel trilogies. Something like that would be like amazing. Like I said before, I think it'd be really cool to have a prologue on Jakku, just basically show the perspective of Vanguard Squadron at Jakku. Maybe someone dies or something as well. From a story purpose, I think that'd be really interesting. And then you start playing as Vanguard Squadron, but set during the fight against the First Order as the Resistance. I think that would be really, really cool. honestly. I think it would. And then like the final battle basically takes place at Exegol. So you're the First Order, but then you transition into what is then actually a Sith Empire. Yeah. Or like maybe what happens is you're not, you know, you're a normal First Order trooper, but then you're basically commanded to go to Exegol. You then become a Sith trooper pilot, and then waboom, you're flying at a TIE dagger. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, the sequel trilogy absolutely has a lot of potential for content. I mean, in terms, like, not just for games, but just in terms of everything, there's still so much of the sequel trilogy that's unexplored. I mean, the films only take place over the period of a year. I mean, episode 7 happens, episode 8 takes place, like, straight after, and then episode 9 is a year after episode 8. So, that whole, like, First Order Resistance conflict is only about a year long, but there's still lots they can do. I'd like to know more about Stein Nithano from The Force Awakens. They can make a TV show about it or something. Stein Nithano actually appears in Star Wars Resistance Season 2. He's literally in it for 30 seconds, but he's really cool actually. Stein Nithano's a really interesting character, but I don't know. I mean, maybe we could see a show for that. I think there's definitely potential there because he's basically, you know, he is somewhat of a smuggler in a way. Because in Star Wars Resistance Season 2, he gives like these pirates who are on board like the main Colossus ship. It's called the Colossus, and there are pirates on there like basically living there. That's a whole other story. But basically, this pirate leaves the Colossus and picks up a bunch of B2 super battle droids off Stein Nithano, comes back to the Colossus and tries to take it over and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really interesting. I think that would be really cool. Something on Sidon would be interesting. I'm on PS4 and I really need to get PS5 because I got 20 FPS the other day. Oh Jesus, that's a rip. All right, I think I'll play some games in a second. PS4 is also having a hard time running games. Yeah, I mean it's 7-year-old technology now. Games are going to be pushing the boundaries more and more as they develop. Like these next gen consoles will have given given games so much more potential to really develop and improve. So yeah. One of his crew members is a clone trooper veteran. He was frozen by Dooku, I think. Yeah, it was Kix, the medic. I don't know how much of an I don't know, like... Yeah, I can't remember... What's that actually in? I remember that being a thing, but I don't know where that's come from. As much as I personally dislike the sequels, I think they shouldn't abandon the sequel trilogy and they should try to improve them through other content like they did with the prequels. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, love them or hate them, you know. I think, like, personally, I really enjoy the sequel trilogy, but I don't want them to just end it where it's at now because there is still so much content they could do with it. Like, the Star Wars Resistance is pretty much Resistance spy goes to Colossus to spy on First Order and report back to Resistance. That's pretty much Season 1. Season 2 is then... Season 2, pretty much the whole time is they leave the planet they're on and are constantly running from the First Order, pretty much, and then eventually decide, enough's enough, we'll fight back, and they win. And that's literally one not even Resistance cell against, just one First Order Star Destroyer, pretty much. Like, it's the same characters. It's Commander Pyre, who's a chrome gold stormtrooper, who is awesome, by the way. And then like a couple other like fairly high-ranking First Order officers. All right, Chidi's got to go. Have a good rest of your stream. No worries. Thank you very much for popping in. Josh, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I think I'll play some games now. Let's do that. I appreciate it's been a long wait, so yeah. But no, it's been really fun. It's been really fun talking about Star Wars games for a while. I'm thinking about watching Mandalorian season 2, but I got it spoiled. Yeah, well, I mean that sucks like a lot because it's definitely a season that I would like. If I got spoiled it, I'd be pretty gutted, to be fair. But definitely watch it, because I mean, it may well have been spoiled for you, but you know, there's no reason not to watch it. Oh God Almighty! Just make sure you guys Alright, you should be able to hear the game anyway, I'm pretty sure you can. Oh, I got hiccups as well.
Fuel detonation averted.
Oh, come on. Wasn't crazy about the first season, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I definitely think season 2's better than season 1. That's what I'm going to say.
Grenade in play.
But no, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, if you yeah, you might not have been crazy about it, but you know, you enjoyed season 1, so I definitely recommend watching season 2 for sure.
Turbo laser in danger. They set a bomb.
About games being so big, I still have an old 20 gig hard drive. This big chunky drive we pulled out of our old computer. 20 gigs was pretty good back then, and games were no bigger than 700 megabytes because they had to fit on CDs. Dude, the old like PS2 memory cards as well, I'm pretty sure were only like 2 megabytes. Games genuinely, like, literally, and that's the thing, like, this was literally just less than 20 years ago when games would, you know, multiple games would fit on a 2 megabyte memory card for PlayStation 2. And that was, you know, that was within the last 20 years. And now we're seeing games over 100 gigabytes. Like, that's pretty crazy, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, you can always expect games to get bigger every, you know, as time goes on. All right.
Enemy action at the turbo laser. They rig charges.
Okay. Major Von Reg looks cool. At least his Lego set is great. Yeah, my brother actually literally got the his Lego set 2 days ago. He built, yeah, my brother got the set and built it 2 days ago, pretty much. It's, yeah, Major Von Reg from, oh, it's up there now. Major Von Reg is really cool. But that's like, that's the thing, like, the Star Wars Resistance, like, yeah, like, it is very much a kid's show. Like, it's far more, I mean, Clone Wars is a kid's show, but it's far less of a, it's more mature. Star Wars Resistance is even more of a kid's show than Clone Wars, but it's still somewhat mature. And then Star Wars Resistance is like way more of a kid's show than Resistance, but it still has, like, you know, it still has some really solid Star Wars content. Whether that's in terms of the ships or more characters, planets and stuff like that. Like, it's really cool. I mean, yeah, you got characters like Major Von Reg, who is a fully red First Order TIE pilot. He's got different armor than a normal TIE pilot, but, you know, he's fully red and everything. You've got Major Von Reg, so, I mean, Captain Phasma is a chrome metal stormtrooper, but then Commander Pyre is a chrome gold stormtrooper he looks awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, there's even like a squadron leader so like towards the end of season 2, you see a bit more of an actual squadron leader, and, you know, she's got black, you know, she's like the black outfit, but then you know, she's got really interesting red markings, not just like the 2 stripes down here, but she's got her own unique helmet and everything like that, which is really cool. So yeah, I mean, like, from a I mean, you might not necessarily enjoy Resistance, but from a, like, Star Wars lore point of view, I think it's definitely worth watching. Do you reckon when technology advances we'll end up having photos that take up gigabytes? Oh, no. Photos nowadays, like, no. Bear in mind a gigabyte is like 1024 megabytes or something like that. A gigabyte is basically 1,000 megabytes, and depending on the image now, like, I mean, it kind of depends. It depends on how big something is, but even like a massive, some of my merch designs, I do them like the size of them. I do like it's like 12,000 by 8. No, it's like 8,000 wide by 12,000 in height, and that's only like they're like a few megabytes sort of thing, Awesome Burger, good to see you. I'm doing very well, thank you. How about yourself? I loved Season 2, Episode 1. It has that amazing Mandalorian feeling, but it is done in such a larger scale. Also, Cobb Vanth became one of my favourite characters in the series. He is so cool. Cobb Vanth was really cool, yeah. And that's another, like, he's in the Aftermath trilogy as well, like the books that Cobb Vanth has been a character since like 2015 in Star Wars. So to see him actually like come to like film/TV is really cool. Well, in a more like visual representation, let's say, because you don't actually see what he looks like until Mando. So yeah. PS1, PS2 games were on those 700 megabyte CDs. Cards had your save file on it, so 2 megabytes was way enough for a couple of text files with some code. True, that is very true. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't have any installed on here, but like on my, on my PS4, which I actually now have back in here, because I was playing Fallen Order last night. But the for those who don't know, there's like Jak and Daxter, those games, like Jak 1, Jak 2, Jak 3, like they had like a whole trilogy remade for for PlayStation and stuff like that. So I have those, like, all of them downloaded, and they're all like 900 megabytes sort of thing. And that's like a remaster, like for a PS4. I'm pretty sure they'll like actually be properly remastered. I'm not sure, but like either way, those games are now on my PS4, and they're like, between 700 to a gigabyte each. And that's like from an old game, and now it's, insane quality. What are the triggers like on PS5? I mean, on like most games at the moment, the only game that's like adaptive triggers at the moment is Call of Duty that I personally play. Actually, No Man's Sky has it as well, but I haven't really played No Man's Sky. I've got it downloaded, but I haven't played it yet. But yeah, it's really cool. Like on Call of Duty, like, so the left trigger, the one you aim, is like really, tense, and you have to pull down it properly. Right trigger, like, it's fine, and then it stops, and then you pull it again, sort of thing. I mean, you can obviously do it in just one push, but it gets to the point where you have to apply more force than normal, which is really cool. Like, it's an awesome experience to have when using it. Them graphics, boy, they heavy. They are. They really are. Hoo-wee. The price we pay for beautiful looking games, hey? Goddamn storage. Right. Well, that was a shame. We didn't get to do anything there. Oh, either way, though, like Star Wars games over the next few years are gonna be awesome, I think. Well, I say a few years. I mean, we might be waiting another year or two for another Star Wars game. That's not Lego Star Wars, but oof. We'll see. Oh, we shall see. Oh, God. I thought they'd have built-in trigger stops. Well, so... No, I mean, they're not like... I mean, I'm not really too sure what you mean by trigger stops, but... what it is... like, the developers can, like, program the controller, basically. Like, within, like, the game, it, like, programs the controller, basically. So, I'm not really entirely sure how it works, but... Either way, like the PS5 controller from a developer standpoint is programmable, so that you've got haptic feedback, but then the triggers. So yeah, I mean, like for me now, like it's normal, you know. But if DICE for some reason came back to Battlefront 2 and then added like an update for it, they could just program the PS5 controller so that a sniper takes, has more tension build up than a pistol. So if I want to aim down here, it might be really tense. Or like on a NT242, it'd be really tense, like the tightest of all of them. But then the cycler rifles are really light. I don't know. Trigger stops are when the trigger only goes down part way, so when it makes your shot. Oh, so it makes your shots faster and sometimes automatically. Oh no, it's not like that. No. The right trigger, like your firing trigger, like it will go down. Like it will only go down part way, but then you have to fire again. But that's only until it can go down part way and it'll stop, but then you have to pull it down to actually shoot. If you stick around for another like half an hour, I can show you on COD what I mean by it. Do you think DICE will ever come back to Battlefront 2? No, absolutely not. There's no point, honestly. There really is no point. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Battlefront 2, but I really don't see the point in coming back. If they want to come back to Battlefront, make a third game. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Alright, ya boy. There we go. Oh. So yeah, I mean, the trigger like stopping and then you having to pull down even more, like it's not it doesn't make your shots faster. If anything, like it actually is a bit more restrictive, but it depends on how much force you typically apply when pulling the trigger on a controller. Also, guys, I am 28 subs away from 3K. I've got 3 more videos to go up left until the new year. So, yeah, hello there. I'd love to try and get to 3K by the end of the year. So, any support is much appreciated. I mean, obviously, being here is amazing, but if you know anyone else who might be interested in future Star Wars games and Star Wars gaming news or whatever, then send them over. Why not? Let's try and get it. Like, I mean, I think like, I'm basically on track to getting to. I'm pretty much actually. I think I'm on track to get to 3K by the 2nd of January because as I So as I uploaded last Monday's video, I was 56 away. So in the last week, I've gone up. Oh, hello. So in the last week, I've gone up like I've gone up. Oh, I'm exactly halfway actually. Yeah, I went up 20 from last Monday to today. I've gone up 28, and I need to go up another 28 basically. So yeah, hopefully I can make it, but we'll see. I mean, I basically need to go up from last Monday. I needed to go up 7 subs for each video release. So from last Monday to this Wednesday, I needed to go up 7. Wednesday to Friday, 7. Friday to Monday, 7. And then from... So basically from... Oh, hello. So from last... Well, so I'm like from Monday's video to tomorrow's video, I needed to get to 2,972, which is actually exactly what I'm on now. So I've got to where I need to be to stay on track at the moment. So we're getting there. The Doctor, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I mean, nice. So yeah, I think like going up the whole like 7 subs per video release, that would pretty much, because as of next week, I'm only doing 2 videos a week. Oh, bother, I was meant to release my supporter podcast today. Oops, I will do that tomorrow. Oh, hello. Damn. So... yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So as of next week, I'm only doing 2 videos per week. Like I'd love to stick to 3, to be honest, but with having a second channel and uni and you know, probably going back to work in the new year as well, I just can't really afford to keep on doing 3 videos a week. So I'll be really busy. So I need to focus more time on uni, but then also having less time, like releasing 1 less video per week on this channel means that I can improve the quality of the videos as well. I mean, some videos like news and stuff like that, like news videos to be like insane quality it's not really a thing, because it's just making videos, you know, it's just making images appear on screen when, you know, at relevant points, which is what I do anyway, and that's like the only thing that you can really be insanely fancy about that without being like really over the top, I think, is just a nice transition from yeah, it's just like a nice transition from, or like how the image like appears. It's that kind of thing. That's really the only thing you need to do for a news video. But then it's like I really want to do a start doing reinforcement concepts for like Battlefront 3. So like if we get a because I'm gonna be doing a ton of speculation content, so I'm gonna do one of the first videos I want to do is a reinforcement concept. Is a reinforcement concept on Dark Troopers from The Mandalorian. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and stuff like that. Like the quality of a video for that could be insane. So yeah, I'd love to really just have more time to focus on bigger and better videos, basically. It's basically been a year since I found your channel. It was at the Celebration Edition live stream. Oh wow, really? Oh, so if it was the Celebration Edition live stream, then it would have been over a year now. That's crazy. I love how people like still like it happens with a lot of people, but a lot of viewers remember when they first come into someone's live streams. I can't remember it for anyone, honestly, but yeah, the fact that people can remember is pretty awesome. What's my second channel? It's called Jewel Shark. So on the second channel I post it's basically any game really. It's mostly Call of Duty. Like it'll pretty much just be a bunch of Warzone and Cold War like content, like Warzone loadouts in basically like certain loadouts that I'm using in Warzone, or for God's sake, wow. Yeah, if I find like a new loadout in Warzone, or like I get a new blueprint and testing that in Warzone, stuff like that, as well as like maybe Call of Duty news content, you know. I'll get a, so it's DUAL space shark SHAR. I'll get a link to my recent video which I posted today. It's only a small channel at the moment, but I want to like slowly work on that as well as time goes by. Torbis, my friend, good to see you. How's things with you? There you go. That's a link to my recent video on the second channel. So if you want to go over and subscribe if you're interested for that, then it would be much appreciated. If not, that's obviously totally cool. Like I'm gonna be uploading 2 videos a week per channel. Oh, hello, what's going on here? Yeah, I mean the second channel isn't like insanely top quality at the moment. To be honest, like it still really is a work in progress, but I am like going to be slowly working on that as I like, because this you know, this channel is the main focus. Yeah, so the main channel, so this channel is the main focus for me, and that's what I want to yeah, that's really what I want to focus on. So you know, once I get to a really like high, you know, to the standard that I'm like sort of like, you know, really happy with, then I can basically go and do that for the second channel. But yeah, I've got plenty of things. I've got like a checklist of things I want to do for the second channel, so I just need to get around to doing them. Like that said, it is, you know, it can be difficult when I've got uni as well. Like I've got, like in January, I've got 2 assignments due at the end of the month, so you know, I've got 2 assignments due at the end of January, and I've got another assignment due mid-Feb, so I've got plenty of work to do there. And that's also, you know, and because making videos, it does, you know, it takes up a lot of time, so yeah, that's also why I need to drop down the amount of videos I make, because it allows me to focus so much more on uni work as well. Samuel, I found it. Nice. So yeah, it's a shark. It's a shark, and then it says Dual Shark in the bottom. Basically, I think it's a pretty cool logo. Night Sensei, good to see you. I am very well, thank you. How about yourself? Right. Yeah, so I'll do one more game after this, and then I'll go on to COD to show Sammy Boy the adaptive triggers and like how they work, and then oh, hello. Right. Yeah, I'll go into a quick game of like local Call of Duty just to show how the adaptive triggers work for Sammy Boy, and then I'll call it a day there. I should be streaming on Thursday as well, like Christmas Eve. I'm not sure. I don't think there are any plans that day, but or like in the evening, sorry. I have plans during the day, but I don't think I'm really doing anything in the evening, so it should be cool. Alright, I guess just working on FPS stuff, very nice. Other than me working on stuff I want to upload, I'm reworking my Hobbit interiors. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Oh, you're joking. Damn it. I'm good. Hyped for this game, getting it on Christmas. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, like if you're someone who's never played Battlefront before, coming into the game like now is like, it's gonna be awesome. Like, it's gonna be a massive grind, but you have all the content straight away to be able to start playing, which is awesome. How's your family going to at least try and celebrate Christmas? Well, we always just spend Christmas Day together anyway. So like Christmas Day itself's not changing. Well, I mean, it's changed my plans completely. Like I was meant to be originally, I was meant to be going to my girlfriend's tomorrow, and then coming back on Sunday. But because of the Christmas plans, like in the UK changing, like literally just a couple days ago, that plans had to be completely scrapped and everything, which sucks. So yeah, I mean, we'll be spending Christmas Day here at home like we always do, so that's not going to change, but then, yeah. But it's just like plans on seeing people, or like my plans on going to my girlfriend's for Christmas has now changed, obviously, and, like, my dad was going to, and stepmom were going to go see my stepmom's parents, but that now can't happen either because of the tier 4 restrictions and whatnot, so... Yeah, it's changed. It has changed quite a bit, but like, it's not really going to be too different to a normal Christmas, really. Sage, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. How's things? Sage, are you? Well, I mean, you probably aren't, but if you're around in like half an hour, would you want to do any Warzone? I mean, you might be busy, but you know. No harm in asking. Oh, hello. Yep, I'm getting absolutely bollocked here. Alright, I'm just gonna... Bro, I'm gonna get choked by Vader in a second, and it's gonna be horrible. What FPS do you get on PS5? Because I know it says it's supposed to run 120 FPS, so I've seen a lot of games only running 60. Well... So yeah, you can get to 120 FPS. The reason why so many games are only 60 is that's because that's only the only reason why most games I'm playing is only 60 FPS, but that's because they haven't actually added any support for 120 FPS on PS5 yet. So yeah, you can get to 120, like on Call of Duty I'm getting 120, but that's because they've actually got 120 supported. Finishing up work right now, Fanny. Okay. Fine.
Same as always.
Fine. It's cool. Alright, that's fine. I can play on my own. Hate the new code restrictions because I was meant to be going to see my 95-year-old granny, but they went to tier 4 and she just passed away yesterday. Oh shit. Dude, that's awful.
So Han told me a story.
That's the thing, like...
Fuel supplies lost. More snowtroopers incoming.
Oh.
I fear the transport.
Yeah, it's things like that it just... Yeah. I mean, like, all the COVID restrictions, like, it has to happen, but... Yeah, it's just stuff like that. It sucks. I mean, I haven't seen my grandparents rushing it. Yeah, well, how long were you playing Torbis? I think, how long did we play for, Sage? Probably like an hour and a half, I think. I mean, we were also on Rebirth as well, so like Rebirth matches take, like literally a win is 12 minutes, whereas a win on the normal map is like 25. So it's like, yeah, big difference. Okay, alright, let's quit and just find another game. Still do one more. Yes, hello, Gray. How's it going? From one clone to another, I gotta say, that is an awesome helmet. We find another game. There we go. I've just realised my stream chat on my laptop is super far behind to what my phone is. God damn. That's crazy. We're the best team, yeah. Uplink times split screen for the win. Oh, okay, it was over both. Okay, sweet, fair enough. Oh, Camino, best man. Or one of them. Marcelo hasn't played Battlefront 22 since Battlefront 2018. Has the game changed? Holy moly. Yeah, the game's changed massively. Yeah, the game has changed an awful lot. Well, obviously the overall gameplay is pretty much the same, but you know, you've got well, so yeah, I mean 2019 like early 2019 brought, you know, supremacy, you know, the supremacy mode to the game. You know, large scale stuff. They added more heroes. Yeah, they added, you know, some more heroes, way more customization for characters. Or for like trooper classes mainly, really. Some more hero skins. You know, instant action is, well, it's not. Wait, is it called instant action on this as well? I don't know. But you know, there's basically instant action as well, to a certain degree. Not to the same extent as yeah, it's not to the same extent as like the classic, but you know, you can play Supremacy on the ground version offline. There's a co-op mode as well. Like, yeah, there's a lot of really awesome content. I mean, yeah, if you haven't played since 2018, you've definitely missed out on a lot. I think, yeah, it's definitely worth like coming back and seeing what's different for sure. I was playing for 3 hours, but our skill-based matchmaking was very high, so it sucks. Dude, skill-based matchmaking on COD sucks. It's really awful. Like, you'll get one win, and all of a sudden, for the next hour and a half, you'll be getting God lobbies, and then you'll get another win in like a decent lobby, and then you'll get God lobbies for another hour and a half. Like, it is always that case in Warzone. It's horrible. Yeah, hour and a half, cool. My mum was able to see her because she's a nurse, but I think it's been a few years since we last saw her. Yeah, it's been a good few years, I think, since I last saw my grandma, to be honest, which really sucks. Yeah. I only played co-op, but I just came back to the game. I remember the hype around this game. The streams of different YouTubers were awesome. The beta was great too. Dude, yeah, like, droidicas, Marcelo, yes, droidicas. Here you go, my friend. We have droidicas. And they have a training droid appearance too, which is sick. Dude, yeah, like the hype around Battlefront 2 was honestly just so awesome. Yeah, it was so good. I mean, even just with update, you know, when the game was still getting monthly updates and stuff like that. Yeah, when the game was getting regular updates, like, and I would stream on the morning as an update went live, and everyone else would be streaming it, and you know, the community was just like on Twitter and Reddit and the Discord server, everyone was going berserk and just showing off the new content, just having so much fun. Like, yeah, it was awesome. The days of Narwhal Dave send updates. Wait, is send updates a typo as for, like, Battlefront updates, or I've never heard of send updates. Dingus Bringus hasn't been, you know, he's Vic Mitchum as well. Classics. Oh yeah, okay, you do mean, oh, Star Wars Battlefront updates, yeah, okay. You're around in 2.5 hours. Probably not Sage, because that'll be 1 AM for me, so I should really be sleeping at that point. Yeah. Does the game still receive updates? No, so content support ended for Battlefront 2 back in April this year. Connor, good to see you. Honestly, it's sad that there may not be a Battlefront 3. I think well, right now, like, we don't know if there is going to be a Battlefront 3, we don't know if there isn't. Like, the chances of it being either or, I think, are pretty equal at the moment, really. I think we will see a Battlefront 3, but it just won't be for another few years. Star Wars Battlefront podcast was such an OG, really. Yes. True. Oh, I mean, you really were, though, Sage. You really were an OG. Oh, that's a headshot on Ray there. Oh, hello. My controller's just like... Bother. Is that my charging cable? There we go. So where did I get up to on here? Someone asked me a question. Oh wait, maybe Sage was talking to Torbis at that point. Oh, Night Sensor said nice t-shirt with BB-8 and B9E if I'm guessing. Yes, so just go over here a second. BB-8, BB9E. This is the shirt. It's my own merch that I designed for the BB-8, BB9E update earlier this year. Yeah, if anyone is interested in any of my merch, then links to pretty much all of them are in the description of the stream. The BB-8, BB9E that I'm currently wearing is listed there as well, if you're interested. But yeah, I really need to do more. I really need to do more merch, to be honest. Next year, I at least want to bring out like 4 new merch designs. I think that'd be my plan. My first game of Warzone got a 180 quickscope. Nice. I don't know why my laptop's being insanely slow with sending chat messages. It's really annoying. Remember streaming Battlefront 2015 for 120 days as a challenge way back down. Usually try not to remember those days though. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think it would be really interesting to do something like that again.
Whoever that is, we'll take the help.
Yeah. Oh, Yepper is no more. He fell. Poor Yepper. If I remember correctly, most content leaked a bit before launch, and that made me more excited. I wouldn't say most, but a lot of content did. Yeah, I mean, you're right. A lot of content did leak before launch, but it wasn't everything. So, yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to quickly head on. I've got a challenge for Battlefield 6 and the Hightower when they are out. Nice. I look forward to it, my dude. Alright, I'm going to quickly go on to Cold War because I want to show Sammy Boy the adaptive triggers. They're only in Cold War though, they're not in Warzone or anything yet, so I can't do that. Right, Night Sensei is going to be going to bed, no problem. It's almost 12 PM, so quite late. Have a nice day, no worries. Well, have a nice day as well. Sleep well, my dude, and we'll see you soon. So, I mean, yeah, at the moment, as you can see, obviously... Actually, you know what? I'll do it here just because the camera's bigger. Battlefield 6 is going to be it, dude. Battlefield 6 is going to be insane. So, you can see here that, like, I'm putting, like, no pressure into it at all. I mean, even, like, here... I'm actually having to put in a little bit of pressure. I won't play an online game. I'll just do a quickly versus bots. Team deathmatch on Raid. I haven't done Raid yet. Sick. All right. Wants to get the new COD, but the SBMM is too crazy, dude. It is pretty mental, to be honest. So at the moment, there's no pressure yet because the game hasn't started. But now, like, so I'll go on here. So no pressure at all. Come back on, and then, like, I'm actually having to. I mean, I'm trying to exaggerate it a little bit, but if I do like that. See that? Like I'm applying the same amount of pressure now and then that. And when I fire as well, like so on here, like nothing about the triggers, and then I do the game normally, and then I get to there and it stops, and then I have to pull it down, which is that. And it's different, like it's different for every weapon as well. So. I'll move it in a sec. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll get the Pellington out as well. Do you want to like... Okay, he can't shoot. Wow, these bots are interesting. Oh wait, it's only gold stuff. See, and then again, like on here, it's slightly different. Like I can actually pretty much just pull this down normally, and I can. It's pretty much normal on here, but then on here, it's like, you know, even more pressure than. It's more pressure on here than the MP5, but then the trigger itself is better. Do you feel it impedes your ability to play? Oh, not at all. Not at all, honestly. It doesn't make a difference for me personally. I've actually played this map, it's pretty cool. Bruh. Collap. Haha. Get me in phase, boys.
Confirming.
So does it slow down when you're about to shoot? So no, it's not a case of it slows down when you're about to shoot. It's literally just a case of each weapon is like pre-programmed like tension. It's just a case of like when I'm, you know, when I'm in the menus, it's obviously not got any pressure, but then in game, like each weapon has its own thing. So this is like a constant bit of tension here in the trigger, and then when I go to here, it's like that. So yeah, I've seen talk of pro console players turning it off to have quicker reflex time. I mean, it honestly like doesn't. I honestly don't feel like it makes any difference for me personally. It's just a case of I have to put more pressure on. Oh hello, I missed that. That was horrible. I mean, sure, I have to apply more pressure on the trigger, but it's not really. It's not an issue at all, honestly.
What's your target ID?
I mean, like, I get that. Like, if they're pro players, then, like, yeah, obviously, they might want to turn it down to have a quicker reflex time, but... Yeah, it's not really... It's not... I don't think it's honestly a big deal, to be honest. But anyway, I am going to call it a day there. That took a bit of a weird turn with that, but Sammy boy, hope you like the triggers. That's going to be it from me, though. Thank you very much for watching. If I don't see you on Thursday, if I stream on Thursday, then have a very Merry Christmas. Hopefully I'll see you before the New Year as well, but if not, have a Happy New Year as well. So yeah, enjoy your Christmas. Thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll